Namaskar. In Champaran, Bihar, peasants were forced to cultivate indigo on 3/20th of their holding managed in Katia system. They were also forced to grow cash crops. With the declining market for indigo in the face of synthetic dyes, the planters were now willing to release the farmers from their irksome crop, but only by recurring enhancements in rent and other illegal dues. The Government of India Act 1935 provided for provincial autonomy, All India Federation, hierarchy at the centre, establishment of a federal court and a federal public service commission. Lord Mayo, Viceroy of India from 1869, was visiting the Andaman and Nicobar Islands on February 1872. The island group was then used as a British penal colony for convicts from India. Lord Mayo was stabbed by Sher Ali Afridi. Sher Ali was immediately arrested and later on given death sentence. Franklin Roosevelt initiated the New Deal in 1933 to meet the economic crisis caused by the Great Depression of 1929. The government of USA instituted massive investment in the economy for the next 8 years to boost the American economy. On 20th February 1947, British Prime Minister Clement Attlee announced in the House of Commons the definite intention of the British government to transfer power to responsible Indian hands by June 1948. After extensive consultations, Lord Mountbatten put forth the plan of partition of India on 3rd June 1947. A committee was appointed in 1928 under the chairmanship of Motilal Nehru to draft a proposed constitution. The main recommendation of the report was it recommended that India should be given Dominion status. The Christ, sorry, the Christ mission, the Christ mission was an the sorry, the Christ mission was an attempt in March 1942 by the British government. Sorry, the Christ, sorry, the Christmas mission was an attempt in March 1942 by the British government to secure full Indian cooperation and support for their efforts in World War II. The mission was headed by Sir Stafford Cripps. The Quiet India movement was launched by Mahatma Gandhi in 1942. "Do or die" was the mantra which Gandhiji gave to the people of India. All the major leaders of India were arrested and the Congress itself was declared illegal. Popular revolts broke out across the length and breadth of the country. Battle cry of British Leave India and the civil disobedient movement came to be known as the Quiet India movement. Lord Bevel, Viceroy of India, October 1940 through March 1947, conceived of India as a single geographic and administrative unit, and therefore was desirous of preserving its political unity. It suggested the creation of a new executive council at the center, in which all but the Viceroy and the Commander-in-Chief will be Indians. All portfolios except defense could be held by Indians. On 20th February 1947, British Prime Minister Clement Attlee announced in the House of Commons the definite intention of British government to transfer power to responsible Indian hands by June 1948. After extensive consultations, Lord Mountbatten put forth the plan of partition of India on 3rd June. In order to protect what it considered family honor and family property, upper caste Hindu society had long disallowed the remarriage of widows, even remarriage of widows, even a child and adolescent ones, all of whom were expected to live a life of isolation. The Hindu Widows Remarriage Act of 1857, it enacted in response to the campaign of Pandit Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. This act provided legal safeguards against loss of certain forms of inheritance for a remarrying Hindu widow. Prarthana Samaj was founded by Doctor Atmaram Pandurang in 1867 with an aim to make people believe in one God and worship only one God. The movement was started for religious and social reform in Maharashtra. The precursor of the precursor of the Prarthana Samaj in Mumbai was the Paramahamsa Sabha, a secret society for the furtherance of liberal ideas by Ram Balkrishna Jayakar and others in Mumbai. Satyasodhak Samaj was founded in sorry Satyasodhak Samaj was founded in 1873 by Jyotiba Phule. His education, his personal experiences, and association with the Protestant missionaries made him critical of the prevailing Hindu religion and custom. Dadabhai Nauroji Dadabhai Nauroji gave the theory of the drain of wealth in 1867. He mentioned his theory in his book Poverty and British Rule in India. He stated that internal factors were not the reasons of poverty in India, but poverty was caused by the colonial rule that was draining the wealth and prosperity of India. Towards the end of 1921, peasant discontent surfaced in the districts of Hardoi, Bhadaj and Sitapur, with grievances relating to the extraction of a rent that was generally 50% higher than the recorded rent. Congress and Khilafat leaders provided the initial thrust to the peasant grievances, and the movement grew under the name Ika or Unity Movement. Maham Anga was often referred to as the foster mother of Akbar. She was the de facto regent of the Mughal state after the exclusion of Bayram Khan in 1562. Akbar's assumption of full power in 1562, shortly before her death. This period, from 1560 to 1562, is referred to by some historians as the Petticoat government. Maham Anga built a mosque, Khairul Manazil, in 1561-80. It later served as a madrasa and now stands opposite Purana Killa in Delhi. The word sorry, the word the word Khalsa means pure. Khalsas are Sikhs who have undergone the sacred Amrit ceremony initiated by the 10th Sikh Guru Gobind Singh. The word Khalsa means pure. Khalsas are Sikhs who have undergone the sacred Sikh Amrit ceremony initiated by the 10th Sikh Guru Gobind Singh. The Khalsa order was initially created on sorry The Khalsa order was initially created on March 30, 1699 by Guru Gobind Singh, baptizing five Sikhs and then in turn asking the five Khalsas to baptize him. Following this, the Guru personally baptized thousands of men and women into the Khalsa. Sorry. Following this, the Guru personally baptized thousands of men and women into the Khalsa order. The Khalsa baptism ceremony is undertaken as part of one's own personal spiritual evolution. From 1699, the temporal leadership of the Sikhs was passed on to the Khalsa with the bestowed title of Guru Panth, and spiritual leadership was passed on to the Granth Sahib. Guru Granth Sahib. Gujrat was a regular tax imposed by the Maratha Empire in India. The right to assess and collect this tax was first asserted by Shivaji in the later 17th century. It was an annual tax nominally levied at 25% on revenue on produce, hence the name. It was levied on the lands which was under nominal Mughal rule. Opinions on the function of the Chauth vary. According to M. G. Ranade, Chauth was charged to provide armed security for a state by the Marathas. The historian Jadunath Sarkar has argued that the Chauth was essentially a tax paid by those states that did not want the Maratha to enter their realm. Indian Mughal paintings originated during the rule of Mughal Emperor Humayun from 1530 to 1540. The earliest example of the Mughal style is the Tuti-Nama Tales of a Parrot painting. Mughal painting experienced large-scale growth under the reign of Emperor Akbar. Mughal paintings illustrated enhanced naturalism with animal tales, landscape portraits etc. Under Jahangir, Mughal paintings show more and more refinement in brushwork along with the use of much lighter and subdued colors. The main themes of the Mughal paintings revolved around the events from Jahangir's own life along with portraits, birds, flowers, animals, etc. The grace and refinement of Mughal paintings during Jahangir's time was also seen at the time of Shah Jahan. However, the sensitivity of the paintings was replaced by coldness and rigidity. The themes of that time revolved around musical parties, lovers on terraces, and gardens, ascetics gathered around a fire etc. Mughal paintings started to decline during the time of Aurangzeb as not much support was given by the Mughal administration. Khwaja Muinuddin Chishti was born in 1141 AD and died in 1236 AD. The Chishti order was founded by Abu Ishaq Shami in Chishti, some 45 miles east of Herat in present-day western Afghanistan. Muinuddin Chishti established the order in India in the city of Ajmer in Rajasthan. The Sufi sons lay stress on renunciation of material goods, strict regime of self-discipline, personal prayer, participation in Sama as a legitimate means of spiritual transformation. Independence from the rulers and the state, including rejection of monastery and land grants. Sorry, independence from the rulers and the sorry independence from the rulers sorry independence from the rulers and the state. Including rejection of sorry, including rejection of monetary and land grants and tolerance and respect for religious differences. Sher Shah Suri was an Afghan ruler and founder of the Suri Empire in North India, with its capital at Delhi. During his 5-year rule from 1540 to 1545, he set up a new civic and military administration, issued the first rupiah, and reorganized the postal system of India. He extended the Grand Trunk Road from Chittagong in the east to Kabul in Afghanistan. In land revenue, the patta system was introduced, where the area shown the types of crop cultivated and revenue share was written on a paper. Akbar adopted Sher Shah Suri's land revenue system with modifications. Bahlol Lodhi from 1451 to 1488 was the founder of the Lodhi dynasty. He founded the rule of the Lodhi dynasty by usurpa, usurping the throne from the last of the Sayyid rulers. Last of the Sayyid rulers, Alauddin Alam Shah. He was a strong and brave ruler. He tried to restore the glory of Delhi by conquering territories around Delhi. In 1479, Sultan Bahlol Lodhi defeated and annexed Sarki dynasty based at Jaunpur. Bahlol Lodhi did much to stop rebellions and uprisings in his territories and extended his authority over Etawah, Mewar, Sambhal and Gwalior. Sultan sorry Sultan Firoz Shah Tughlaq ascended the throne after the death of Muhammad bin Tughlaq, and his reign lasted from 1351 to 1388 AD. During his rule, Firoz Tughlaq adopted measures like revenue reforms, irrigation works, charitable programs, and public works, which won praise from various quarters. At the same time, his military expeditions, slave system, feudal practice, and religious policies brought discredit to him. It is said that Firoz Shah Tughlaq had maintained over 180,000 slaves. It put great economic burden on the state. Bahlol Lodi from 1451 to 1488 was the founder of the Lodi dynasty. He founded the rule of the Lodi dynasty by usurping the throne from the last of the Sayyid rulers, Alauddin Alam Shah. He was a strong and brave ruler. He tried to restore the glory of Delhi by conquering territories around Delhi. In 1479, Sultan Bahlol Lodi defeated and annexed Sharki dynasty based at Jaunpur. Bahlol Lodi did much to stop rebellions and uprisings in his territories, and extended his authority over Etawah, Mewar, Sambhal and Gwalior. Sultan Firoz Shah Tughlaq ascended the throne after the death of Muhammad bin Tughlaq, and his reign lasted from 1351 to 1388 AD. During his rule, Firoz Tughlaq adopted measures like revenue reforms, irrigation works, charitable programs, and public works, which won praise from various quarters. At the same time, his military expeditions, slave system, feudal practice, and religious policy brought discredit to him. It is said that Firoz Shah Tughlaq had maintained over 180,000 slaves. It put great economic burden on the state. Muhammad bin Tughlaq from 1325 to 1351 AD is best remembered as a ruler who undertook a number of bold experiments and showed a keen interest in agriculture. Sorry, he set up a separate department, Diwane-Amir-e-Kohi, for improving cultivation. He set up a separate department, Diwane-Amir-e-Kohi, for improving cultivation. He transferred the capital from Delhi to Deogiri, which he renamed Daulatabad, which has been the base for the expansion of the Muslim rule in South India. The attempt to bring the entire South India under the direct control of Delhi and had led to serious political difficulties. Although the attempt to make Deogiri a second capital failed, the exodus did have a number of long-range benefits. It helped in bringing North and South India close together by improving communications. The reign of Sri Krishnadevaraya, the most famous of the rulers of the Vijayanagara Empire, is hailed as a golden era by historians. Not only did he have eight court poets, Asta Digajaj, he himself was a great poet. He had written the poem Muktamalya Yada. The epic poem Muktamalya Yada tells the well-known story of the daughter of Periyajhawar Goda Devi, who used to wear the garlands intended for Lord Ranganatha before they were offered to the deity, and hence named Muktamalya, the one who wears and gives away garlands. Firdausi from 940 to 1020 AD was the poet laureate the court of Mahmud Ghaznavi. He is also the author of Shahnameh. His original name was Abul Qasim Mansur. He received a thorough education in Muslim learning and in the Persian language and Persian language and antiquities. Mahmud of Ghazni from 971 to 1030 AD was the most prominent ruler of the Ghaznavid Empire. He conquered the eastern Iranian lands and the northwestern Indian subcontinent. He was the first ruler to carry the title Sultan. During his rule, he invaded and plundered India 17 times. Virupaksha temple is located in Hampi, 350 km from Bangalore, Karnataka. It is part of the group of monuments at Hampi, designed a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It was built by Lokamaha Devi in 745 AD to commemorate her husband's victory over the Palwaj of Kanchi. Virupaksha temple is located in Hampi, 350 km from Bangalore, Karnataka. It is part of the group of monuments at Hampi. Sorry, sorry, designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It was built by Queen Lokmahadevi in 745 AD to commemorate her husband's victory over the Palwaj of Kanchi. The Kanchi Kailashanathan temple is the oldest structure in Kanchipuram. It is a Hindu temple in the Dravidian architectural it is the Hindu temple in the Dravidian architectural style. It is dedicated to Lord Shiva and is known for its historical importance. The temple was built from 685 to 705 AD by Narasimha Varman to Raja Simha. The Raja Raja temple is a Hindu temple dedicated to Shiva that is located in the city of Tanjavur in the Indian state of Tamil Nadu. It is also known as Kovil temple and Brihadeshwara temple. It was built by Emperor Raja Raja Chola first and completed in 1010 AD. The temple is a part of the UNESCO World Heritage Site. Known as the Great Living Chola Temples. The Kailasa temple is one of the largest rock-cut ancient Hindu temples located in Ellora, Maharashtra, India. It was built in the 8th century from 757 to 788 to 700 to 7 from 757 to 783 AD by the Rashtrakuta King Krishna I. This is one of the 34 temples and monasteries collectively known as Ellora Caves. This is one of the 34 temples and monasteries collectively known as Ellora Caves. The Jagannath temple in Puri is a famous sacred and a Hindu temple dedicated to Jagannatha and located at Puri in the state of Odisha. The temple was built in 1161 AD by King Anantavarman Chonda Ganga Devi. The temple is famous for its annual Rath Yatra in which three main temple deities are held on huge and elaborately decorated temple carts. The Kushana Empire was an empire originally formed in the early 1st century AD under Kujula Cadphises in the territories of the former Greco-Bactrian kingdom. Mat and Surukh Kotal are the places where statues of Kushana rulers were established. Mat and Surukh Kotal are the places where statues of Kushan rulers were established. Ramagupta was the elder son and immediate successor of Samudragupta and succeeded by his younger brother Chandragupta II. Initially, he was known for the traditional narratives only, but later three inscriptions on Jaina Tirthankara images were discovered from Durjanpur area near Vidisha, which mentions which which mentions which as Maharaja Dhiraja. Brahmagupta from 598 to 678 he was an Indian mathematician and astronomer who wrote two works on mathematics and astronomy. The Brahma, sorry, the Brahma-Sphuta Siddhanta, the Brahma-Sphuta Siddhanta, a theoretical treatise on the Khandakadhyaya, the Khandaka, the Khandakadhyaya, the Khandakadhyayaka, a more practical text. The Khandakadhyayaka, a more practical text. Vinmala is the birthplace of Brahmagupta. The Khandakadhyayaka, more the Khandaka, the Khandakadhyayaka, more practical text. Sorry, Brahmagupta from 598 to 678 was an Indian mathematician and astronomer who wrote two works on mathematics and astronomy, the Brahma Subhuta Siddhanta and a theoretical treatise, and the Khandaka, a more practical text. Bhinamala is the birthplace of Brahmagupta. Chars, sorry, Charsada is a town and headquarters. Sorry, Charsada is a town and headquarters of Charsada district in the Pakhtunkhwa province of Pakistan. Charsada is a town and headquarters of Charsada district in the Pakhtunkhwa province of Pakistan. The city hosts the ruins of what was once the great ancient Gandharan city of Pushkalavati, home of the Sanskrit grammarian Panini. Sirkap is the name of a archaeological site on the bank opposite to the city of Takshashila, Punjab, Pakistan. The city of Sirkap was built by the Greco-Bactrian king Demetrius and his son Stultus after he invaded ancient India around 180 BC. Nagarjunakonda is a historical Buddhist town, now an island located near Nagarjuna Sagar in Guntur district, Andhra Pradesh. It is one of India's richest Buddhist sites known in the ancient times as Sri Parvata. It was built between 225 AD to 325 AD. Tamluk, situated on the right bank of Rupnarayan river, it is found mentioned in ancient Pali and Sanskrit literatures in different names such as Tamralipta, Damalipta, Tamralipi, Tamraliptika or Velakula. The Pandya territory occupied sorry the Pandya territory occupied the southern The Pandya territory occupied the southernmost and the southeastern portion of the Indian peninsula. It is roughly included. Sorry, it is roughly included. Sorry, it roughly included the modern districts of Tinnevelly, Ramnad, and Madurai in Tamil Nadu. It has its capital at Madurai. The Pandyas are rightly famous for patronizing the poets and scholars of the Tamil Sangams. The Pandyan kings profited from the trade with the Roman Empire and sent embassies to the Roman Emperor Augustus. The Pandyan port Korai was a great center of trade and commerce. The Pandyan port Korai was the Pandyan port Korkai was a great center of trade and commerce. Another port was Saliyur. The Pandyan port Korkai was sorry the port Korkai was a great center of trade and commerce. Another port was Saliyur. Panchala was the name of an ancient kingdom of North India located in the Ganges-Yamuna Doab of the upper Gangetic plain, encompassing the modern-day states of Uttarakhand and western Uttar Pradesh during the later Vedic times. From 800 to 500 BC, it was one of the most powerful states of India, closely allied with the Kuru kingdom. Megasthenes from 350 to 290 BC was a Greek ethnographer and explorer in the Hellenistic period, author of the work Indica. He was born in Asia Minor, modern-day Turkey, and became an ambassador of Seleucus, one of the Seleucid dynasty. Arian, Diodorus, Justin, Plutarch, and Strabo refer to Indica in their works of these writers. Arian speaks most highly of Megasthenes. In Jainism, Tirthankara are the teachers and revivers of the Jain philosophy. Tirthankaras show the way across the ocean of rebirth and transmigration. They, like arihants, conquer samsara, the cycle of birth and rebirth. Are also called Jina. They are also called Jina. They preach the true Dharma and provide a guide for people to follow them from samsara to moksha, liberation. Santinath was the 16th Jain Tirthankar. According to Jain beliefs, he became a Siddha, a liberated soul which has destroyed all of its karma. Santinath was born to King Vishwa Sen Raja and Queen Hirarani at Hastinapur in the Ish, Ikshavu clan. Shantinath was born to King Vishwa Sen Raja and Queen Aghira Rani at Hastinapur. In the Ikshavu clan. His emblem is antelope. Malinatha was the 19th Tirthankara of the Jains. According to Jain beliefs, Malinatha became a Siddha, a liberated soul which has destroyed all of its karma. Jain scriptures indicate Malinatha was born at Mithila into the Ikshvaku dynasty to King Kumbha Raja and Queen Prabhavati Rani. Parshvanath, also known as Parshva, was the 23rd Tirthankara of Jainism. Parshva was the son of King Aswasena and Queen Vama of Varanasi. Guru Gobind Singh has penned a life history of Parshva Nath in the form of composition called Paranath Avatar, which is included in Dasham Granth. Mahavira, Mahavira, also known as Vardhamana, was the 24th and last Tirthankara of Jainism of present Avasharpani era half-time cycle as per Jain cosmology. According to Jain texts, Mahavira was born in 544 BC. His philosophy has eight cardinal principles, three metaphysical and five ethical. The emblem of Mahavira is lion. Saptasindhu, meaning seven rivers, is the term which gave birth to the word Hindu. Saptasindhu was referred to as Saptasindhu by Persians. The term is found in Avesta of Zoroastrians. Scholars are not of same opinion on the names and identity of the seven rivers of Saptasindhu. Most of the scholars agree that the heartland of Ringvedic Aryans was modern-day Afghanistan, Punjab, Pakistan and India, Haryana and Rajasthan. Further, Kubha River, Kabul, Shuvastu, Swat, Kramo, Kuram, Afghanistan, Gomti, Gomal rivers have also got place in texts. The Ganga and Yamuna, which were mentioned in later Vedic texts, indicated the eastern boundary of the Saptasindhava region. Saptasindhu, meaning seven rivers, is the term which gave birth to the word Hindu. Saptasindhu was referred to as Sapta Hindu by Persians. The term is found in Avesta of Zoroastrians. Scholars are not of same opinion on the names and identity of the seven rivers of Saptasindhu. Most of the scholars agree that the heartland of the Vedic Aryans was modern-day Afghanistan, Punjab, Pakistan and India, Haryana and Rajasthan. Further, Kubha River, Kabul, Shubastu, Swat, Karakoram, Afghanistan, and Gomti-Gomal rivers have also got place in texts. The Ganga and Yamuna, which were mentioned in later Vedic texts, indicated the eastern boundary of the Sapta Sindhava region. The All India Trade Union Congress (AITUC) is the oldest trade union in India. It was founded on 31st October 1920 in Bombay by N.M. Joshi, Lala Lajpat Rai, Joseph Batista, and a few others. The All India Trade Union Congress (AITUC) is the oldest trade union in India. It was founded on 31st October 1920 in Bombay by N.M. Joshi, Lala Rajpat Rai, Joseph Batista, and a few others. Lala Rajpat Rai was its first president. AITUC is a founder member of the World Federation of Trade Unions. Its president Guru Das Gupta is the president of AITUC. Sorry, the All India Trade Union Congress (AITUC) is the oldest trade union in India. The All India Trade Union Congress (AITUC) is the oldest trade union in India. It was founded on 31st October 1920 in Bombay by N.M. Joshi, Lala Rajpat Rai, Joseph Batista, and a few others. Lala Rajpat Rai was its first president. AITUC is a founder member of the World Federation of Trade Unions. The Indian Statutory Commission was a group of seven British members of Parliament of UK that had been dispatched to India in 1928 to study constitutional reform in India. It was commonly referred to as Simon Commission after its chairman, Sir John Simon. The Bombay Plan is the name commonly given to a World War II era set of proposals for the development for the post-independence in the economy of India. The plan, published in 1944 by eight leading Indian industrialists, proposed state intervention in the economic development of the nation after independence from Britain. The cabinet mission arrived on March 24, 1946 in India to devise a machinery to draw up the constitution of independent India. In 1947, Lord Mountbatten worked out a detailed plan for the transfer of power to the Indian people. In 1931, the Indian National Congress met at Karachi. It approved the Gandhi-Irwin Pact. The most significant of the Karachi session was a resolution it passed on fundamental rights and economic policy. The Karachi session of the Indian National Congress was held under the presidency of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. In 1931, the Indian National Congress met at Karachi. It approved the Gandhi-Irwin Pact. The most significant of the Karachi session was a resolution it passed on fundamental rights and economic policy. The Karachi session of the Indian National Congress was held under the presidency of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. The Silk Letter Conspiracy refers to a movement organized by the Deobandi leaders between 1913 to 1920, aiming at freeing India from the British rule by allying with Ottoman Turkey, Imperial Germany, and Afghanistan. The plot was uncovered by Punjab CID with the capture of letters from Ubaidullah Sindhi, one of the Deobandi leaders then in Afghanistan, to Mahmud al-Hassan, another leader then in Persia. The letters were written in silk cloth, hence the name. Opinion within the Congress was thus divided between two schools of thought: the changers who were opposed to council entry and the pro-changers who wanted to contest the elections at the Gaya session of the Congress held in December 1922. And no changers led by C. Rajgopalachari defeated the pro-challengers. Sorry, the no changers led by C. Rajgopalachari defeated pro-changers. Defeated pro-changers. Thereupon, C.R. Das, himself a pro-changer who had presided over the Gaya session, resigned from the presidency of the Congress with Motilal Nehru. Thereupon, C.R. Das, himself a pro-changer who had presided over the Gaya session, resigned from the presidency of the Congress with Motilal Nehru, Hakim Ajmal Khan, and other pro-changers. C.R. Das formed the Swaraj Party in 1923. After the suspension of the non-cooperation, after the suspension of the non-cooperation movement, the Congress was left without any political program. A group of congressmen led by Motilal Nehru and C.R. Das wished to contest the elections in 1923, organized under the Government of India Act 1919, and thus gained entry into the legislatures. And thus gained into the sorry gain entry into the legislatures. After the suspension of the non-cooperation movement, the Congress was left without any political program. A group of congressmen led by Motilal Nehru and C.R. Das wished to contest the elections in 1923, organized under the Government of India Act 1919, and thus gain entry into the legislatures. The Emergence of Indian Nationalism is a book written by Anil Seal in 1968. In this book, Anil Sin analyzes the social roots of the rather confused steerings towards political organizations of the 1870s and 1880s which brought about the foundation of the Indian National Congress. Bipin Chandra had likened the Indian National Congress to Gramsci's war of position. According to Antonio Gramsci, the war of position is an intellectual and cultural struggle wherein the anti-capitalist revolutionary creates a proletarian culture whose native value system counters the cultural hegemony of the bourgeoisie. The proletarian culture will increase class consciousness, teach revolutionary theory and historical analysis, and thus propagate further revolutionary organization among the social classes. Bipin Chandra had likened Indian National Congress to Gramsci's war of position. According to Antonio Gramsci, the war of position is an intellectual and cultural struggle wherein the anti-capitalist revolutionary creates a proletarian culture whose native value system encounters the cultural hegemony of the bourgeoisie. The proletarian culture will increase class consciousness, teach revolutionary theory and historical analysis, and thus propagate further revolutionary organization among the social classes. Lord Dalhousie was the Governor-General of India from 1848 to 1856. He is regarded as one of the greatest Governor-General of India, and his contribution to The building up of British India is enormous. Lord Dalhousie was the Governor General of India from 1848 to 1856. He is regarded as one of the greatest Governor General of India, and his contribution to the building up of British India is enormous. No other Governor General of India added even half the extent of territories which were incorporated into the British dominions during the administration of Lord Dalhousie. The states annexed by the application of this doctrine were Satara (1848), Jodhpur and Sambalpur (1849), Baghat (1850), Udaipur (1852), Jhansi (1853), and Nagpur (1854). The Jacobean Club of Mysore was the first revolutionary republican organization to be formed in India. It was founded in 1794 by French republican officers with the support of Tipu Sultan for framing laws compatible with the laws of the republic. The British regarded the link sorry the, Brit- sorry the British regarded the link up of revolutionary Jacobean forces and Indian resistance as an extremely dangerous development. In the Age of Consent Act 1860 was enacted during the tenure of Lord Canning. The Age of Consent Act 1860 fixed 10 years as the minimum age for a girl's marriage. The Age of Consent Act 1860 was enacted during the tenure of Lord Canning. The Age of Consent Act 1860 fixed 10 years as the minimum age for a girl's marriage. The statement that is during the late medieval period, the relations between Indians and Europeans were mainly based on a mutual trade interest is true, but the reason that is the settlement of European traders in India was followed with the arrival of their families and the other social groups, pastors, physicians, and artists. It is also true, but it is not the correct explanation for the statement. Shivaji born in 1627. Shivaji born in 1627. Sorry, Shivaji, sorry. Shivaji born in 1627 in the fort of Shivneri belonged to the Bhonse clan, and his grandfather Maloji rose to prominence in the Nizam Shahi kingdom of Ahmednagar. Shivaji's father Shahji played an important part in the political and military affairs of Nizam Shahi kingdom and fought for the Ahmednagar in its final struggle against the Mughals in 1636. Shivaji had asked for the Deshmukhi for Junnar and Ahmednagar Parganas. Shivaji had asked for the Deshmukhi of Junnar and Ahmednagar Parganas, which Prince Murad, the governor of the Deccan, had promised to try and secure after reaching the Mughal emperor's presence. After reaching the Mughal emperor's presence, Shivaji conquered Javli from Maratha chief Chandra Rao More in 1656. Jahangir was the fourth Mughal emperor after Babur, Humayun and Akbar. Jahangir's reign lasted from 1605 to 1627. Jahangir claimed that he could distinguish which painters had drawn the outline, filled in the colors, or drawn the face. The close of the 15th century, when the Portuguese under the leadership of Vasco da Gama landed at Calicut, May 21, 1498, is a landmark in the history of India's maritime trade. The arrival of the Portuguese in India was followed by the advent of other European communities. In 1602, the Dutch United East India Company was granted an exclusive right to trade with India and the East Indies for 21 years. The East India Company was formed on 31st December 1600. The immediate aim of the company was the acquisition of the spices and paper of the Eastern Archipelago. After the conclusion of peace with Spain and Portugal 1604, it was decided that the third expedition should, on its way to Bantam, attempt to open up trade at Aden and Surat. William Hawkins went from Surat to the Mughal court in Delhi 1608 but failed to get permission to erect a factory at Surat. The the French appeared late on the Indian coasts, but they had a desire for trading in eastern part of the world. Since the early days of the 16th century, in 1667, an expedition was sent under Francois Caron, who established the first French factory in India at Surat. Khizr Khan ibn Malik Suleiman from 1414 to 1421 was the founder of the Sayyid dynasty. Khizr Khan ibn Malik Suleiman from 1414 to 1421 was the founder of the Sayyid dynasty, the ruling dynasty of the Delhi Sultanate. In northern India, after the fall of the Tughlaq dynasty, He used to be the governor of Multan. Sorry. He used to be the governor of Multan and the Tughlaq ruler Firoz Shah Tughlaq. He was known to be an evil administrator. He was succeeded by his son Mubarak Khan. He sorry. He used to be the governor. Sorry. He used to be the governor of Multan under the Tughlaq ruler Firoz Shah. Sorry. He used to be the governor of Multan under the Tughlaq ruler Firoz Shah Tughlaq. He was known to be an able administrator. He was succeeded by his son Mubarak Khan. Nayankara system was an important feature of the Vijayanagara provincial organization. Nayankara system was an important feature of the Vijayanagara provincial organization. The term Nayankara is an abbreviation of Atmanarayanankara, composed of three words Amara, Nayaka, and Kara. Amara literally stands for a command of 1,000 foot soldiers. Nayaka stands for the military chief who held land for the king. Kara means the end of its term. Atmanayankara is referred to a military chief who was granted land, yielding fixed revenue for the sovereign. During the reign of Alauddin Khilji, the department of Diwan Risalat was replaced by the department called Diwan-e-Riyasat, whose primary function was to implement the economic regulations issued by the Sultan and control the markets and prices. The Diwan-e-Arj was headed by the Arije Mamalik. He was responsible for organization and maintenance of the royal army. Bari-de Mamalik was the head of the information and intelligence department. Ruknuddin Firoz Shah was the son of Iltutmish, who ruled for 1 year in 1236 AD. Muinuddin Bahram, another son of Iltutmish, ruled from 1242 AD. Before him, sorry, Muizuddin Bahram ruled another sorry, Muizuddin Bahram, another son of Iltutmish, ruled from 1242 AD. Muhyiddin Bahram, another son of Iltutmish, ruled from 1240 to 1242 AD. Before him, Razia Sultan ruled from 1236. Before him, Razia Sultan ruled from 1236 to 1240 AD. Before him, Razia Sultan ruled from 1236 to 1240 AD. Alauddin Masud, son of Ruknuddin Firoz Shah, ruled from sorry, Ruk, sorry, Ruknuddin Firoz Shah was the son of Iltutmish, who ruled for 1 year in 1236 AD. Muhyiddin Bahram, another son of Iltutmish, ruled from 1240 to 1242 AD. Before him, Razia Sultan ruled from 1236 to 1240 AD. Alauddin Masud, son of Ruknuddin Firoz Shah, ruled from 1242 to 1246 AD. Nasiruddin Mahmud, grandson of Iltutmish, ruled from 1246 to 1266 AD. The early phase of medieval tradition, which mingles with Ajanta's survival set, Ellora, is characterized by sharp lines, pointed angles, absence of color modeling, and an inclination towards variegated decoration. This medieval element was found in the wall paintings of South Indian temples at Tanjavur and Tirumalai. The Baharistane Ghabi, written by Mirza Nathan, is a 17th century chronicle on the history of Bengal. कुछ बिहार असम and Bihar under sorry कुछ Bihar, Assam and Bihar under the reign of Mughal Emperor Jahangir. Angkor Wat is a temple complex in Cambodia and the largest religious monument in the world. It was built by the Khmer king Suryavarman II in the early 12th century, breaking from the Shaiva tradition of previous kings. Angkor Wat was instead dedicated to Vishnu. Veerarajendra Chola ruled from 1053 to 1070 AD. Vikrama Chola was a 12th century king of the Chola Empire. He succeeded his father Kulothunga Chola I to the throne in 1120 AD. He ruled till 1135 AD. Raja Chola, who succeeded his father Kulothunga Chola II to the Chola throne in 1150 AD. Kulothunga Chola III was the ruler of the Chola Empire from 1178 to 1218 AD after succeeding Rajadhiraja II. A hollow inscription of Pulkeshin II was written by Ravi Kriti, Shah, the court poet of Chalukya king Pulakeshi Sin II, who reigned from 610 to 642 AD. Who reigned from 610 to 642 AD. The poetic verses of Ravi Kriti in praise of the king can be read in the Meguti temple, dated 643 AD. The inscription is in the Sanskrit language. Varaha Mihira from 505 to 578 AD, also called Varaha or Mihir, was an Indian astronomer, mathematician, and astrologer who lived in Ujjain. He was born in Avanti region, roughly corresponding to modern-day Malwa, to Aditya Dasa, who was himself an astronomer. According to one of his own works, he was educated at Kapithaka. He is considered one of the nine jewels, Navratnas, of the court of legendary ruler Yashodharman Vikramaditya of Malwa. The Udagiri caves are an early Hindu ritual site located near Vidisha in the state of Madhya Pradesh, India. They were extensively carved and reworked under the command of Chandragupta II in the late 4th and 5th century AD. Udagiri is best known for a series of rock-cut sanctuaries and images excavated into the hillside. The site has important inscriptions of the Gupta dynasty belonging to the reigns of Chandragupta II and Kumaragupta. Kayarohana, the dwelling place of Lakulisha, is located in Gujarat. It is situated near Baroda. It is the birthplace of Lakulish. The 2nd century Shaivat revivalist reformer and founder of the Pashupata doctrine. Pashupata Shaivism is the oldest of the major Shaivite Hindu schools. The philosophy of Pashupata set by systematized by Lako Lish in the 2nd century AD. The main texts of the school are Ganakarika, Panchartha, Bhashya, Deepika, and Rasikara Bhasya. Lakulisha, sorry, Lakulisha opposed Lakulisha opposed Vaidism, Jainism, and most particularly Buddhism. Lakulisha is said to have restored practices of Hatha Yoga and Tantrism, and the cosmological theories of the Samakya sorry the and the cosmological theories of the Samakya and the duality associated with the Samakya tenets. Lakulisha opposed Vaidism, Jainism, and most particularly Buddhism. Lakulisha is said to have restored practices of Hatha Yoga and Tantrism and the cosmological theories of the Samakya and the duality associated with the Samakya tenets. The duality associated with the Samakya tenets. The poets of the third Sangam wrote the eight anthologies. Together, the eight anthologies make up a very large body of poetic literature and contain well over 2,000 poems ascribed to more than 2,000 authors. Sorry, uh, ascribed to more than 200 authors. The eight anthologies are Nari Nai 400 short poems on Nari Nai 400 short poems on love. Kuru Tongai 400 smaller love poems. Anguru Nuru 500 short erotic poems. Padirupa to a short collection of sorry Padirupattu a short collection of eight poems in praise of the king of Chera country. Paripadal 24 poems in praise of gods. Kalitogai 150 love poems. Agana Noru 400 love lyrics. Purana Noru 400 poems in praise of kings. Asura is an ancient form of Indian marriages for the payment of bride price. The other forms of marriage in ancient India are Brahma, Arsha, Dara, Prajapati, and Rakshasa. A Brahma marriage is where a boy is able to get married once he has completed his studenthood or brahmacharya. Brahma marriage has the most supreme position of the eight types of Hindu matrimony. In that way, marriage, the woman's family will wait for a specific time to get her wed. If she does not get a suitable groom, then she would be married off to. If she, sorry, if she does not, sorry, if she does not get, if she does not get a suitable groom, then she would be married off to places where sacrifices are conducted in Arsha marriage, where the girl is married to the sages. An Arsha marriage where the girl is married to the sages. 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 Sorry, an Arsha marriage where girl. An Arsha marriage. An Arsha marriage. An Arsha marriage where the girl is married to the sages. The bride will be given in exchange for two cows in Prajapatya. In Prajapatya marriage, the bride's father goes in search of a groom. Monetary transactions are not a part of the Prajapatya. Sorry, monetary transactions are not a part of the Prajapatya. Monetary transactions are not a part of the Prajapatya marriage. A Prakshasha marriage is much like a fairy tale. The groom will forge battles with the bride's family, overcome them, and carry the bride away to convince her to marry him. Because of the personal methods used in this marriage type, it is not considered right. Jainas played an important role in the overthrow of the Nanda dynasty. The rule of the Nanda dynasty lasted between 345 to 321 BC. Jainas played an important role in the overthrow of the Nanda dynasty. The rule of Nanda dynasty lasted between 340. The rule of Nanda dynasty lasted between from 345 to 320 first BC. The Nandas are described as the first empire builders in the recorded history of India. Their unpopularity, possibly due to their financial extortion, facilitated a revolutionary leading to their overthrow by the Chandragupta Maurya and Kautilya. King Ashwapati of the Upanishadic age was the ruler of Kekaya. King Ashwapati, King Ashwapati of the King Ashwapati of the Upanishadic age was the ruler of Kekaya. The Kekaya kingdom was situated on the bank of river Bias, east of Gandhar kingdom. The King Ashwapati of the Upanishadic age was the ruler of Kekaya. The Kekaya kingdom was situated on the bank of river Bias. The King Ashwapati of the Upanishadic age was the ruler of Kekaya. The Kekaya kingdom was situated on the bank of river Bias, east of Gandhar Kingdom. The Kakya Kingdom, King Ashwapati of the Upanishadic age was, King Ashwapati of the Upanishadic age was the ruler of Kekaya. The Kekaya Kingdom was situated on the bank of river Bias, east of Gandhar Kingdom. King Ashwapati ruled Kekaya when Janak was the king of Videha. Jakhera is not a Harappan site. Jakhera is a small village located in Degna Tehsil of Nagaur district, Rajasthan. Bhirana is situated in Fatehabad district, Haryana. Bhirana is situated in Fatehabad district, Haryana. Jakhera is not a Harappan site. Jakhera is a small village located in Degana Tehsil of Nagaur district, Rajasthan. Virana is situated in Fatehabad district, Haryana. The excavations at this site reveal graffiti of a dancing girl on pottery, which resembles dancing girl statue found at Mohenjo-daro. Kunti is an archaeological site which is identified as an sorry which, which is identified as a port belonging to the Indus Valley Civilization. This this site is located in Kuch district of Gujarat. The the excavations revealed two periods of occupation. The excavations revealed two periods of occupation. Period one is assigned to the mature urban phase, century 2200 to 1900 BC, and the period second is assigned to the late Harappan phase, century 1900 to 7700 BC. This site was identified as jetty and a manufacturing center. Padri is situated. Padri is sorry. Padri is situated 50 kilometers south of Bhavnagar in Gujarat. Chanhudaro is an archaeological site located at 130 kilometers south of Mohenjo-daro in Sindh, Pakistan. The settlement was inhabited between 4000 and 1700 BC and is considered to have been a center for manufacturing carnelian beads. Chanhudaro is an archaeological site located at 130 kilometers Chanhudaru is an archaeological site located at 130 kilometers south of Mohenjo-daro in Sindh, Pakistan. The settlement was inhabited between 4000 and 1700 BC and is considered to have been a center for manufacturing carnelian beads. Chanhudaru was first excavated by M.G. Majumdar in 1913. Evidence of steelworking was found at Chanhudaru and bangles were also made at this site. Harappan seals were made generally in bigger towns like Harappa, Mohenjo-daro and Chanhudaru, which were involved with administrative network. A microlith is a small tool. Sorry, microlith is a small stone tool usually made of flint or chert and typically a centimeter or so in length and half a centimeter wide. It is produced from either a small blade microblade or a larger blade-like piece of flint by abrupt or truncated retouching, which leaves a very typical piece of waste called a microbearing. The microlith was first discovered by Carlyle in 1867 from Vindhyan rock shelters. A microlith is a small stone tool usually made of flint or chert and typically a centimeter or so in length and half a centimeter wide. It is produced from either a small blade microblade or a larger blade piece of flint by abrupt or truncated retouching, which leaves a very typical piece of waste called a microbearing. The microlith was first discovered by Carlyle in 1867 from Vindhyan rock shelters. In Bihar, in Champaran, Bihar, peasants were forced to cultivate indigo on 3 by 20th of their holding known as Tinkatia system. In Champaran, Bihar, peasants were forced to cultivate indigo on 3 by 20th of their holding known as Tinkatia system. They were also forced to grow cash crops. With the declining market for indigo in the face of synthetic dyes, the planters were now willing to release the farmers from their irksome crop, but only by recurring enhancements in rent and other illegal dues. धन्यवाद. Thank you so much. All the best. 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 धन्यवाद. धन्यवाद. Thank you so much. All the best. 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 धन्यवाद. धन्यवाद. Thank you so much. All the best. धन्यवाद. धन्यवाद. Thank you so much. All the best. धन्यवाद. Thank you so much. All the best. धन्यवाद. Thank you so much. All the best.